chasing him down, and Sheo has nothing to get out of it. Then the play with the flash on top. First blood for Vladi.
Mokai, no flash, Mokai, no flash.
After Mokai. I'm looking. They have good burn.
It's good.
Safe no flash. Look, Corki first.
I'm coming.
Corki.
It's winning.
Very good, it's good.
Nice.
Yeah, look side, it's good. Look behind.
I'm looking behind. Has no flash, we'll take this.
Dawn's all fled there onto a prop there to engage. Targamas jumps on in, but they need to get rid of Ice. The Elder might be able to do it, but against the Nexus turret, a throw given over, and just like that.
Against all odds, it is KC that gets the first game, and I immediately want to jump into this replay. Jackies, do you want to talk us through what your eyes saw here?
I think BDS got a bit like over-eager on the engage. I think they got really scared by this TF in the back, so they just really tried to go forward, but honestly I think that's the wrong decision. I think you have to get this TF off your back or he's just gonna slowly kill you, because, example here, Nuke is dead if he doesn't red card him, which is unfortunate. So I think after that, like, it's just hard, you know, like what can they really do? Maokai Smite is undefeatable, and yeah, it's just a tough situation to be in after.
I think they still have tools to try and apply pressure on the map, right? Nuke has TP here in this instance, and it feels like they want two different things. At least they're not really in a position to properly contest this, because Sheo has already made the call. I'm gonna flash in to try and steal it. Nuke being in that position right there doesn't really accomplish anything to try and help him. It just becomes more difficult for them to go for it, and they don't have enough members to defend their base afterwards.
And just so I understand, obviously the TF is running interference, right? And they need to know where he is at all times. Ideally, they need to kill him. But what else do you do, though?
Well, there is two options, right? You need to kill the front or you need to kill him in the back.
Yeah, one of the two.
I also think the most important part is like Nuke can kill him, but I think he just needs to buy that QSS, you know, because TF cannot play if there's a Lucian coming at him with QSS, so I think there's a bit of a build issue there, but sucks.
Sucks. I know how nervous you were watching. You just lost your mind, really, because BDS really had this in the bag. I mean, a lot of the things that we were criticizing them coming into today, Goldberg, were better, namely Sheo on that Zyra.
I mean, I absolutely love the way they played around him in the early game. We finally see Sheo back on an AP jungler like the Zyra. We see that he's piloting the faster clear speed against the Maokai, where you get to invade on that Grom spawn, and they just kept being there again and again and again. And I think the stats that I really want you to look at here is the counter jungle percentage and the team proximity. Team proximity, how often he's surrounded by his team members in the early game, almost 50% at the time as a jungler. This wasn't because Sheo was playing for the lanes, this was the lanes rather, playing for Sheo.
And it reminded me of something that you said in the pre-show, Jackie, that when you played versus them, you felt that you had the timer, you always knew where you could kill them. It feels like they learned from that and said, okay, we're still going to be as annoying, but we're going to make sure that we're always covered.
I mean, for sure they improved in this case. Like their jungle support synergy has been way better than against us, for example. And I think they shouldn't lose confidence after losing this game. I think their early game was like really good until they died once into TF, but that's just a TF tax, you know, we have to take it.
That happens.
So yeah, I think they shouldn't lose confidence and just keep it up. They did really well. Yeah,
easier said than done, of course. In a best of 5 like this. But I also want to talk about KC using the GX tactic. The Baron we're going to look at, they were really far behind in this game. Jackies, this is what you do.
That is what we do, yeah.
Oh, was it a good GX Baron?
Well, it worked, so it's a good flip, of course. It's not a flip if it works, but yeah, I mean, the trigger is there, right? Lucian is knocking on your door, so you have to do something. And I mean, I don't really know if their setup was that great, but their rush is really good, and Maokai Q Smite never fails. So it's a good plan, and they executed it pretty well, I think.
I mean, yes.
But the question is this a reliable plan, Jackies?
I mean...
Well, it's not a reliable plan, but it's the one you have to do to come back into the game, I think.
Yeah,
so
it's a necessary plan.
You have to do it, yeah.
But still, when this is the goal graph that you're looking
God.
at, one thing, of course, this sucks for BDS. Like, this feels so bad. This game should have been in the bag, right? It came down to the flip that you quietly see there as well, but also some of the later objective fights. I still think, though, that in terms of adaptations, it really should be KC who's looking at most adaptations, right? You need to shut down this early game pressure that came from the Zyra, or at least have a winning bot lane so she can't just walk into your jungle every single time.
Yeah, BDS will be selecting the blue side. Oh, I'm sorry, production, but we talked about it in the talent room that the casters would be fine with us taking this draft, because I'd really love to hear Jackies talk about the next draft. I hope that's okay. Let me know because I forgot to tell you. But BDS do select the blue side, and I mean, it makes sense. I just think about the context of what I heard from BDS last week also, right? But we're not getting it together. We play more scared than we usually do. We can't replicate what we have in scrims on stage. And then you play a game like this, and you do exactly what you're supposed to, and you still lose.
Yeah, but you started to see those cracks in the late game as well, where at first when they got caught down towards the bot side with ads flashing forward, okay, that sucks. We're gonna try and recover. Then Labrov gets caught. Sucks. All right, Elder fight.
He
Oh
got caught
god,
a few
it's
times.
this domino effect as well. And I know Jackies as well as you as a pro player, like I can only imagine that it will trigger your communications a little bit in terms of the plays you go for when you add an in-game step, but you keep going wrong and wrong and wrong.
I mean, it's for sure tough in situations like this because at this point, anything that kind of touches you, you kind of die. So one bad step and you're dead. So you have to be really precise on where you actually want to go and where you click. Like the most important thing is just be grouped. Like I know it's like a little bit of an NA thing, but you kind of have to in this meta because there is 4 carries on each side, so you kind of die to anything right now.
I think that's a great read on how you have to approach these situations, and it's also why we saw that the TF was just trying to run interference to make sure that they weren't grouped. Now, as we go into this draft, also from the other side, from KC, right? Think from KC, you could think this was a really hard game. We didn't really play to the strengths we usually have. Upset wasn't popping off. Vladi wasn't having that performance he has been having in the last couple of weeks. So they know what to change, I think, and they still have a win in the book. So it's a win-win for them.
Yeah, I like the confidence there, I think. But
I think.
But I'm very curious about this Sejuani ban that BDS brought out because I actually think it worked wonders against a team like KC. Closer has had so much comfort on this champion because it's easy to play for topside with Sejuani, but it's also such a reliant team fight tool for them. But it's already proven that when you have an AP jungler on Sheo and Sjokz wasn't there to get that close to that comfort, they were struggling against it. So I can already say I'm bewildered to see Maokai is there because I thought they had an easy time against them in the early game, but it just proves that late game, it still matters.
Yeah. I mean, you heard it here from Jackies as well. It's undefeated when you have to smite the Baron, so...
Yeah, it is broken. I mean, I think BDS should just stick to their prio lanes. I think KC is really aggressive if they have prio and they can do plays, but that's where you take it with like picks like Lucian, Ashe, right? You take it away from them because those champs just get prio on default. But they let the Sejuani open this time, which I think is a really strong pick for KC, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just first pick it right now.
Right, so they're probably looking to first pick it. I think that should be no surprise here, but what are they going to respond to that? Because Lucian is still open. Is that just the strongest of the AD mid laners right now?
I think when Tristana is out, it's mainly Corki and Lucian, yeah. It's for sure just preference-wise, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just go back to the Ezreal. I think it worked fine for them, even though, because Ashe is out now, so there is less stuff that can contest the prio. Oh, but they go for up to Zeri,
yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's kind of 1v9 on it, so.
Absolutely.
I wonder if it's a flex for Vladi as well, because I'm a fan of that, but I don't know if he plays it.
Yeah.
Have we seen it? I don't think so. But
I don't think we've seen Vladi specifically on this area yet, unfortunately, but what I'm really curious about what is Closer going to bring out, because he can't be on that facilitating jungler. Sjokz and Maokai is the 2 strongest on them right now. Either you go down the AP route where you want to play those champions again, or you have to say, well, here's a Sentao, here's a Viego, but I'm not the biggest fan of those kind of picks right now.
It's a Renekton. It's a Korean Renekton, so don't despair.
I think there's a brand coming for us Closer, because you don't pick Renekton just for fun, right? You pick it for the AP jungle, so
yeah.
For sure something is coming, and I wonder if it's the brand that you guys are so much of a fan of.
I mean, it's great. Are you not a fan of it?
I think it's strong, but I think it gets a bit too hyped.
Okay.
I think it's like just depending on your team, because brand you really need, you kind of always die and then you kind of kill all, but your team needs to be ready for that. So it depends if you actually can play with the champ.
So is it champ diff or team diff?
Well, I think Zyra is a champ diff, Brand is a team diff.
Oh.
Maybe I'm completely wrong on this and I'll get called out, but that's what I think.
The Rell's coming in, of course.
Oh, Labrov Rell.
Labrov will be really, really happy. And the Jinx for Ice, you know, saying, we trust you to carry us, so go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, for BDS, this is their bread and butter, right? For sure, Rell, Jinx, this is what they want, this is what they know. So yeah, now I'm wondering if he's actually gonna go to Brand or not. For a Talia flex.
Don't talk about how much, just wait for it, and yeah, there we have it. And just Jackies has already said, if this fails, it's not Closer's fault, it's the rest of KC's fault, it's a team diff.
Mid laners, they always protect their junglers, right?
Yeah, they do need a power lane.
There you go.
There's two ways, either jungle protect mid lane, or mid lane just keeps crying for it, but...
One of the two.
Yeah. Second ban phase, Adam still has his top laners available. I'm curious to see what he would like to play into
Volley
Renekton.
ban.
Will he already get some of his merchant picks out of the way there with the Volibear going away? I guess Katante, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's kind of a little bit comfort for Adam right now, and it's a safe one.
How would you like to
he
see BDS round out their comp? What is the perfect 2 last pick?
Well, the thing is, I don't really know much about top matchups, but I think they should just look to outrange at this point. Like, I honestly think I've seen Canna play Jace into Renekton and he was kind of smurfing. I think Adam, if he plays Jace, he should lock it in because Zeri and Renekton brand do get outranged, I think, quite heavily. And with the Jinx Rell engage, it's a good reset as well. So I don't know what he's gonna look on mid because Azir is banned. I don't know if they're gonna go AD mid, but yeah, to be fair, I'm kind of lost right now what he's gonna play because
That's why
I wouldn't be
coaches
surprised.
drafting usually.
Historically for Adam, if you had to pick a range top laner, it would be Nah. Outside of that, he hasn't really played range champions at all. So like, my head went like, are we Nico merchants? Are we playing Varus top or anything like that? But I don't think that's gonna come through. And I don't think the Jace is gonna come through either. I think safest bet for Adam might just be that Nah as a pick. As for mid lane though, I think you just want that counter matchup if you can get it, but I doubt it. They're probably just picking support here in 4 and then last pick for Vladi. Oh, hold on.
Never mind.
I mean, they did ban Delusion as BDS, so they are saying if you want an AD mid laner, you're gonna have to take the Corki now. What would you pick into that then?
Now I'm kind of like flabbergasted this happened, you know. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I would just look for probably Talia or something like that because that's the only champ that's actually open right now.
I mean, Nuke loves it.
Or Lil Hui, but for Nuke champ pool, I'm thinking that he's just gonna look in Talia, or he could just go Ezreal as well or Mundo.
We've seen this one before from Adam. Wasn't to the greatest success at that time. It was an alpha on Mundo into the Aatrox. Into Renekton, though, we have seen it be piloted, but the laning phase is a bit rough. It is more of the scaling side with this Mundo champion.
Yeah. Actually, if I have to pick. I think if I'm Nuke, I'm looking Kai'Sa right now, but...
Oh, that's
a
classic from Nuke right here. He used to love Cassiopeia.
Oh my
What
god.
year is it?
Yeah, we haven't seen this in ages. You said you wanted outrange. I'm not sure it fully outranges.
Well, they just went complete opposite.
Yeah.
They were like, instructions ignored, short range.
Yeah, that's why the draft coach is not a player.
Okay, so what does Casio versus Corki look like in 2024?
Have you played this in 2024?
I have never played this, I think, in my life.
Yeah.
That actually shows how young you are because it's so meta.
I can already tell you that there is a first item Mercs coming in from this Corki because that's the meta. But I honestly think Casio can stomp this matchup if Vladi does some mistakes because Casio is strong in early game and he has the Sejuani in his team. So I think it just depends on first 5 levels how Casio is gonna play it out, and then after Mercs, Corki is completely fine.
Yeah, can be scary, you know, no boots on Casio, so there's no Mercs value or anything like that into Leona or Brand, so that is actually going to be a little bit difficult to pilot in this meta, something you don't often think about. But
I mean, it's probably the ace they had up their sleeve, hopefully, or maybe they don't know what they're doing.
I mean, they must have had a plan here with the Lucian ban on 4 and then letting them have Corki. They must have had one, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see what their plan is, or rather how it pans out. Let's head over to our casting.
Well, it's a Michelin star for me, that's for sure. BDS throwing something into the works for game number 2. As gentlemen, all I can say is that looks like a lot of fun.
I mean, that's definitely one way to say it. I mean, the Cassiopeia coming out for a Nuke. The last time we played was season finals last year, where unfortunately lost. So I have high expectations for this, if this is something they clearly already had planned. But this is dangerous territory. There's a lot of matchups that I'm not quite sure of coming into this. So I'm looking to see how the early game pans out.
Yeah, Nuke. Pinched pool, I think. Having to go down to the cast, you have a decent early game into the Corki, but then you will get outscaled by range and the rockets. That's typically a problem right now, and why you don't see it, because there's a lot of range in the meta. And Mundo into Renekton as well, spicy.
I mean, it is spicy. I love the top lane, I love the mid lane. It's not Corki versus Tristana. It feels like home. Snakes, crocodiles, like, man, I'm in my element coming into game 2 as BDS threw it all away in the first game. That's what hit hard. But before we get into this game, I'm going to ask you guys one important question, and it's whether you're a master of the Rift. And if you never want to miss a game, these are both questions. Santander is here to reward you, and you can head over to santandergaming.com to win weekly and monthly rewards like Hextech chests and skins. If you want to farm that, this week's code is PENTA50. Now, guess what? As I get home, I'll go back in the VOD. I'll remember the code because my brain is... You know, sometimes I get a bit of brain rot, gents. You know, I've watched a lot of League of Legends and I forget things as well. We're on the camera, that's us. Hello. Now, back to Australia. Snake mid, crocodile top. Eragon, you're kind of Australian, except opposite side of the world.
I lived there for a year. I lived there for a year.
You
I've
did.
experienced it.
But you lived in Perth.
That's true.
Which
It's
may
not
as well
really
be another
Australia.
country.
True.
Yeah, 2
Very
hours
far
away.
But yeah, looking at the Crocodile, this matchup is massively Renekton favored early, which is why, I'm not going to yoink your point, Dagda, you can go on it later. But we thought maybe there would be a lane swap potentially coming out because of how Renekton doesn't really like that, and Mundo can farm with cleavers. Regardless though, because they are laning normally, this is a very Renekton favored matchup. He'll get prior almost all stages early on, and will really only start to lose once the base damages get too high, once the items come through for Mundo. And in the mid lane, first 5 levels matter, like Jackie said. But then as you go on in the game, the rockets, the range is going to outscale the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, and that's where it is kind of bizarre, because it feels like what has been the struggle for BDS is when they've teetered back over in towards Sheo off of a carry, which is very weird to say when you think about historically what Sheo's looked most comfortable on, but having him on something a bit more where he can deal damage and using Labrov as that main engage to has kind of been where BDS have shown in this current meta. So going back towards, hey, we're going to have less clear space, we won't have Sheo being able to play around our lanes as much, is definitely a weird look for me from BDS.
Yeah, Labrov, I think you highlighted there on his Rell, so much comfort in. I think Nuke's Cassio is just something we haven't seen in a long time, but it was so comfort for him for the longest time. And the same with Labrov's Rell. It's good to see them going back to basics, going back to their comfort picks.
And on the opposite side, I mean, Closer bringing out something a little bit different as well. He has been the tank guy.
Yep.
And like, as I expected coming into this, I thought it was going to be Sejuani, Maokai, Vi duty for him. So taking a very different look here, coming in on towards the brand, picked it up obviously as we started to see it rise in priority, and now he's going to have a significantly faster clear time and can try and get on towards this top side. Although you can kind of see a nice ward there on Krugs already to spot out, and also the Raptors to spot out exactly what his clear time is.
Mid prior going to go over to BDS, but top prior is going to go over to KC because Renekton has full control. He can decide what wave to crash. You can see him slow pushing. This is the 4th wave, and it's going to perfectly coincide with that Scuttle Crab spawn if he wants to move down into river, giving Closer what he likes in the river there. So what I imagine will happen is Sheo will backtrack, potentially go down to bot side and take that crab.
What I noticed for the time being, again, that vision coverage that we talked about last early game is tracking Closer now on the top side of the map as he hits his level 4. Much like Zyra, the brand clears hella quick, and Casey now trying to use that advantage to get in Sheo's face, but great timing on the blue buff here as Sheo has to run away.
Even if you just force Sheo off this top side, that's a win, because all you really want to do is secure one of these scuttles. You can already see both supports kind of staggering themselves in towards this river to see if they can pick something up. Targamas would be able to walk on out of this, he'll be fine, but it will mean that Sheo can at least secure a scuttle for himself as well.
Push in for bot. For the side of BDS means that Sheo won't be completely unhappy. He does get the Scuttle Crab on this side of the map. And then we just see a rerun. Another rinse and repeat of the full clears up to top side again.
As we look at Labrov as he sits around mid, I mean, it brings up the point that you guys entered this game into as well. Labrov in the regular season, 7 games of Rell, 1 Nautilus, 1 Alistar. They played 9 games in the regular season. Then after that, they were like, hang on a minute. As we go into playoffs, teams started doing their prep, banning Rell against them 78% of the time. He only got 1 game in the playoffs so far. And this, we have to see if he can bring it back as we then avert our eyes to top and we think, hey, what Eragon was saying about the Renekton kind of rings true a bit.
So now Adam, he faces a dilemma, right? He has to handle this bounce back, and Canna has to make sure not to over-trim the wave so the wave actually continues to come back to him.
Right.
A big thing with Mundo that people don't talk about very often in terms of his weaknesses is that his passive spell shield, it has a really long cooldown early. It's almost 50 seconds. So you knock it off, Adam is just naked. He can't play for the longest time, and the stun can come through.
Wow. Do we want to see that? I don't know. Adam is just going to throw out a briefcase. But he's going to keep his clothes on for the time being.
He looks biffing in the suit, so.
Yeah,
but the biggest issue, as you say, is that that's just Canna being able to completely demoralize Adam in that top side, keep control. Adam's going to have to TP back in. And this is only going to be something where you can now set up for potential dives coming through on towards that top side with Closer. That's a ton of early damage that you can try and set up, especially if you can knock that passive off early. So this is where you do have to be careful, but also control for Void Grubs in just a couple of seconds. And we already said it, like Ice, Labrov don't really have control on the spot side, so it feels like this should be KC favored as Closer makes his way up top side.
Yeah, my only concern now is Closer's going top side, and the recall hasn't come out from Canna where it has come for Adam. So in terms of raw stats, Canna's a little bit weaker in this upcoming grub fight, where you would think they would go automatically over to the side of KC with the power of this Renekton.
But as you talked about, I mean, it goes where he pleases. That's now off as well. So I'm tracking that cooldown a little bit closer, Eragon, as well. Because again, as you said, it's really high in the early game. 60 seconds at the base level too, which is, again, a whole minute for anyone who can't count. That's crazy. Top lane continues to be good. No, I know you guys can count, but there's a big CS lead. That's why it is good. Canna is up about 25 CS Sheo starts these grubs, but again, close is here.
Sheo's going to manage to yoink one away, I think. Cheating one away versus a Renekton top side. I mean, they do have mid-prior with the Cassiopeia, so maybe that's what they're playing for. But KC, they're going to secure 2 of them. I just think they could have secured all 3 if Canna took an earlier reset with his items.
Sheo has Smite, just wants to try and get in range, but Canna coming across denies him access.
Maybe it doesn't matter in the end, doesn't it? There's the knock up or knock in from Targamas. He sets up for the Sun. BDS are moving into position. One stolen from Sheo in the end. He flashes over the wall to stop the stack. Still KC with 2. Is a big opening game using the priority in their lanes.
My problem with this is Canna delayed his reset so long that they didn't secure all 3 grubs, and he decided to pick up a cull. Now, the thing is with cull, is it takes a long time to complete. That's why you usually see it picked up much earlier on. So they've decided that, you know, we've opted into less grubs for a cull pickup, which is only going to complete in the next 13 minutes or so. So I think a bit of a misplay from Canna in the top side here.
Whereas when you look at Ice, picked up his nice and early, already stacking that and getting the plate for himself because he stayed on this bottom side. So in the grand scheme of things, BDS going to be relatively happy with that passage of play. Sure, Sheo had to burn his flash, but they steal away the Void Grub, means that then they can set up for a potential 2-take on the next one and keep things even, and you just get gold onto Ice. So with Casey investing that much, actually, Labrov.
Good trade.
Yeah, they might spot out Targamas coming in here. How aggressive do they want to go?
Ice is level 6, by the way. I mean, upset the same, but again, that Jinx rocket is quite a bit of burst in the early game, and Labrov is just hitting it out with Targamas. Again, these guys must be friends because they keep throwing blow for blow.
Both junglers on this bottom side, though. Looks like BDS going to use this bot push to try and also to push the new Kazza mid to look for the dragon. I wasn't sure how aggressive Targamas or Labrov wanted to go, or even Targamas, because the junglers were just immediately behind them. But looks like BDS going to kind of keep up the cautious play that we saw in the last game and just look for the dragon instead.
I mean, dragon on top of that. Plates, by the way, for Ice is going to be there. He's up 400 gold. I mean, when you think of Ice, you think of the team fighting AD carry for BDS that has been old reliable, even last game on the Ashe. And for BDS, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, 2 plates down bot side, massive lead for BDS like you're saying, but matched up top side by Canna. Now, upset is chunked. He does have full summoners to be able to flash away from potential Labrov engage, but Sheo, he really wants it. They want more here.
Articuno setting up the ultimate from across the wall. All it takes is Targamas. That Zenith Blade maybe would have pulled the trigger on the other side as Ice continues to sit out here and now starts trading against Upset. There's some good damage coming down. Targamas and Labrov again fighting it out, but there Sheo waited so long. Patience is a virtue, and that virtue gives first blood.
Yeah, I think Labrov going that aggressive should have been a sign to Targamas that something was up. They didn't spot the Sejuani on any of the jungle creeps, but at least when you look at the top side, Closer had already moved in, going to start up the blue as well, so it's at least something back, but Ice is going to get a ton of plates, and it's a big win for the bottom side of BDS.
Yeah, you're going to bleed out minions as well, aren't you, Dagda? It's just really rough if you're upset here, but take a look at Canna here. Big trades coming out.
Oh, actually, Dominus going to come through as well. Adam has his own ulti too. I mean, he picked up the goes where he pleases. I think, right, we need a better name for that. While KC hover.
Help is on the way, though. Labrov is here as the dive comes through.
Dagda's going to start singing for us in a second. Labrov with a good cut away from the Seer. Sheo's coming in. His ult already burned in the previous exchange. Is Closer has his blaze up and running. There we go. Seer that one. The rocket ain't in the right spot, and KC takes Sheo apart. Well, the rest of BDS was sitting in the lane.
It was a good read from BDS saying, look, chances are KC's going to go top here, but because they didn't play to go underneath the tower, they isolate Sheo, able to pick him off, and KC come out with the 1 kill back.
Yeah, you can see the thought process as well from Sheo. He just completed his item. He wanted to skirmish and maybe play with that Jinx rocket, but the Jinx rocket doesn't go where the fight ends up going, and it's just another win playing towards this top side of KC.
And again, that early gold lead from top, it keeps enveloping the game. 900 now, and Canna's still in a great spot after top has just been open further.
But that's the thing, the kill didn't even go to Canna. It went towards Vladi in the mid lane, so now helping him to get accelerated, getting him into a position where he can be significantly stronger, and even opting in towards the tier here as well. Like, you're going to have a ton of rockets in that later portion of the game that you can just free fire, and that kind of already tells you that KC, they want to try and play a lot for using this range advantage and try to keep BDS at bay.
Yeah. 10 seconds now on Grubs. Both supports going to head over to mid lane and fight for that mid pro. Vladi and Targamas there at the head of the play. But take a look at bot side. Wow. So much damage with the cross map from Upset onto this tower. He's getting really fed in isolation. And I just mixed up both AD carries.
No, that's all right. You meant Ice. I know what you're talking about. You know, in isolation, yeah, Ice is getting so much from the plating. He stays in the isolated lane, using the range, it looks like, as well. And things are going well. It is sides of the map that are getting traded off. Dagda, I love the point about where the kill credit went, because it means, again, that maybe that's the thing that pushes over the line as we look towards this fight.
Sheo going to try and get himself in here, but I don't know if he really can. Adam is very separate and super low. That ultimate just about to tick over, it seems, in the top. Yeah, has it available now.
We've got to squint for that one. BDS at least force their way in, though. They deny 4 grubs. Okay, maximum dosage needs to be used now. Does it? Adam actually holds on. That is very tame.
Wow. I'm shocked that BDS ended up getting 2 of those. What? Maybe it was just Ice rotating up they're a little bit nervous about, but they're going to look again for the play on Adam. He's completely isolated.
That's his workout gear from the 80s. That's what he wore to the gym. Adam's going to heal up and dosage has been used. BDS are moving on in. Nuke is there. I mean, the petrifying gaze is what I look for. Standing on ground. I mean, he's there and he gets a 2-man! Cassiopeia comes in and knocks him still. Canna now between the whole team, and Nuke walked up. He looked like a bait, but that snake ain't for eating.
Nuke finding the play with that ultimate, that 2-man like you said, but I think what happened is Closer tried to find the Q flash on Brand, but it gets blocked, and the ultimate doesn't come through. The damage isn't quite enough to finish off the Cassiopeia. Nuke gonna take down 2 of them.
Ult comes through. He's gonna cleanse through the traps. Ice has to flash away as well. Upset holds onto his and at half HP. That's where the play ends, but AD Carry's now getting a little bit frisky as well.
Yeah, trying to get something back here against Ice, but we're gonna not be able to get too much. Ice will still be able to clear out these minions. Should be able to get a reset for himself here as well if he really wants to. Upset gonna try and use the wall here to get the zap to at least stop it looks. But Labrov is gonna be here.
He's always here, isn't he? I mean, that's what Labrov is. He's just a roaming horse that continues to set up these engages. 100% kill participation for BDS in this game too on their support.
I think it's just KC overplaying towards topside because they have a winning top lane. You can see Closer getting picked off there because they've decided, you know what, we can't win through bot side anymore. We're leaving KC upset in isolation, but now deciding, you know what, we're going to give you a little bit more resources. We're going to let you hit tower. And it's just good heads-up plays from BDS to match those plays up topside and actually take advantage of that.
We know KC's early game, right? We're talking about it at the start. It's maybe not the biggest weakness, but we argue that, again, their early games can be a bit of a detriment, and it's their ability to fight back in the mid-game. It's the ability for them in last game to really control the mid-game that was their strength. Here in this early game, it's a lot worse this time with those winning lanes that we talked about. And the fact, again, that there's a lot of scaling as Canna walks up, gets the stun down. Adam has flash and the dosage again, and Canna's really low.
But that's the thing, the Warmog is now completed for Adam, means that he's able to heal back up. So Canna not having that kind of health advantage consistently off the Q means he's going to struggle a little bit. Adam might have gone a bit too far, they were closer here.
It's Mundo. Dagda, say the line, come on.
He gets on out of there.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That's Irish Mundo, if you're wondering.
He stalls the ball.
Good one. Right, well, Irish Mundo has different voice lines if you want to go play on the server to find out.
Yeah, but that's exactly the thing. Now with the Warmog's completed, they can continuously play for those platings up topside. So any chunk, as long as it's not an all-in from Canna with the potential jungler to actually kill, it's just going to be healed up from Adam, and he can convert that into Demolish Procs over and over and over again, just making a bigger and bigger lead. He's gotten through the worst of it now as the Mundo, and he's only going to start to outscale Canna now in terms of the 1v1.
A lot of presence here on this bottom side from BDS, but KC in a position here as well to cover up Closer. I don't know if he was spotted on that ward, but he's definitely spotted Labrov.
Oh dear. Wait, TP comes through, actually. It's going to advance, isn't it? KC under this turret field safe for now, but Adam is just running them down. Labrov with the engage. This is why it's banned against him so much. It's clean as anything as Nuke just stands his ground, poisons them down, slows with the petrifying gaze, and the Twin Fangs commence. It's a trade from Closer, but BDS still open the map wide.
BDS investing everything onto the bottom side there. You'll see Upset going to get some damage on this mid tower, and also probably top going to fall, but getting kills in towards Ice was the big advantage off towards that. But honestly, only the 2 assists for him means that it wasn't as successful as they'd hoped for, but still, they do open up the gold lead.
I mean, look at Labrov here. He's fishing onto Upset potentially behind him. I mean, Upset can hop over this wall, but he's still kind of stuck in isolation.
He is. Vasco in there. He won't take it. He's got Targamas coming to help him out, but Targamas needs to leave. The flash away from Upset won't be worth it. He's just dead. A kill over to Ice, and it was 2 turrets there for KC. But at the end of the day, getting more kills over to Ice still feels like the game plan's in full run.
Because the Riftchild now off the back of that is going to help out as well. Ice in a position now to get mid push, to move over, and you can potentially crack open mid lane turret with this as well, because 15 seconds still on Upset. This could start to really shove the game in towards BDS's favor, at least, well, as I said, at least open up and catch up for the turrets that KC have already taken.
You could tell that BDS were not happy with the way the game went last one, especially Adam taking that top lane lead, crashing a wave, and then TPing down bot side as well to secure that first blood turret. It's a massive lead over to the side of BDS.
The thing was that we saw a good early game from BDS in the last one. Like, that looked fantastic. It was as we got to the mid-game and late game where we started to see the cracks form. So we have to see if BDS at least can try and keep things up where they're able to play well around ice, or if there's going to be some moments where KC, with the high amount of damage that they have, can find these comeback potentials.
Now, looking forward to this mid-game. I do think that they might start to run into issues in terms of being outranged. I mean, your Mundo and your Sejuani and your bunch of melees and short-range champions running into a Brandle. That's my only concern, but I suppose the same thing could be said the other way around with Leona and Renekton dashing into a Cassiopeia. That's exactly where Cassiopeia likes to thrive, because we don't see this champion much, but people, Cassiopeia loves when champions dash into her.
Remember Miasma as well, you get grounded too. So what does that mean? No Renekton E?
No Renekton E,
no Corki W.
Yeah. Allowed to leave your bedroom.
Yeah, that's right. You're very scared, aren't you? So you put your big boy pants on and you just kind of hope you can get through it, because again, that's another tool that we saw in a lot of the Cassiopeia meta where it stops a lot of these engages and can become a nuisance in its own right. Still,
nice moves from BDS here. They move Sheo from that top side in towards mid. Bully upset off the wave.
Mine.
And now Adam gets top. But you can see multiple members with the Rift Herald starting to move in towards mid lane as well.
Waiting to get low, he flashes away. He's got the ulti there as well. Red buff is burning him down. I mean, this 1v1 for Canna is getting risky. It's only a level 12 Mundo, and he takes the 1v1. Does not go where he does not please.
Unless it's an all-in, Adam can win. He can back off and heal up and then take the trades again. But if it's an all-in, that Black Cleaver, the Conqueror stacking, is going to do too much damage at this stage of the game. Maybe until he completes a couple more items. That's going to convert into top push. And with that Executioner's calling, he's going to cut down for healing that. That's going to be a kill, especially with that red buff.
They're in a position where the side lane not going great for BDS. Canna making his hurt known. And again, you've already got the mid lane tower down, so if you are able to unlock Canna from pushing top to roam across the mid, suddenly you're pushing ice underneath the tier 2, it opens it up for potential dragon takes in that, but already resets coming through from BDS. They're already leveraging in towards River here to try and set up for that, and operating Nuke on towards that top side as he has that teleport available and can be a little bit more of a threat in the range v range matchup.
Significant item advantages across the board now for BDS. 2 items to 1.5 a lot in terms of these components, so I could see them winning this fight at third dragon. It's going to be a massive fight for Soul Point here. KC, they're going to contest anyway.
I'm just noticing as well that second item is the Heart Seal coming through, so that's starting to stack up from Adam. Nuke also sitting on 2 items, and yeah, Cass no boots, classic. Nuke is sitting on those 2 items with a shield, I should add as well, thanks to Archangel's, now Seraph's. Ice comes through, and as Nuke TPs, 2 items for everyone. I love that you guys pointed out, because the strength is being shown here. BDS with confidence to now overpush mid with Herald.
Yeah, this is the Herald play that we're talking about, and now BDS can start to very much threaten bullying KC back off the turret itself, guarantees the take, and now they can move in towards River, potentially even down on towards Canna as well, who does need to back on up out of there before BDS encroach.
KC have such a difficult decision to make here. Do you take the fight down in items or give up a Soul Point fight here? I mean, it looks like they can't walk in through this choke. It's going to be incredibly difficult without being picked off.
Canna is going to be spotted out first at the very least. He's another Heart Steel stack as his passive is taken away. Adam can't find the chase to get it as Targamas is already in the river. Sheo jumps in first and Targa is getting bullied on down. He has to flash away, which is part of his engage, which is an issue. Solar Flare on a Mundo. Zena's played on a Mundo. Targamas going for the engage, but at least they find it. He's destroyed by Closer. Casey finding the pick when I thought they couldn't is a start.
Adam falling for the team fight is crucial. Dying through the W, you never see that versus a Mundo, but they have enough damage to bring him down now. Can they flex the numbers advantage versus BDS?
Pressure coming forward. Closer wants to step up, but he's so squishy. Labrov goes in.
He does again. There's a setup from the Rell, and Closer's drawn on in. Still enough here from Nuke and Ice. Upset will take him down for the trade, but Ice also gets excited. BDS running away after getting the Dragon at the cost of 2 of their members.
Third Dragon for BDS after losing 2. They just about able to get that one, and then BDS again being able to push in towards this mid lane. They will lose bot lane turret as Canna is already in position to take that.
Wait, take a look at the TP coming in down bot side. Adam might get a bit of a long chase here onto Canna. Canna is really chunked, and now he has no E.
Dominus is not available either. I'm watching for Adam. He's 2 levels behind with maximum dosage also up and available. Canna's being sneaky. The path he's taking out is great, and he's got a portal. Teleporting for that as well. Canna just makes them grin.
Canna able to worm his way on out of there, really well orchestrated, but here you can see Adam just removed from the map immediately. The CC way too strong, and then BDS trying to set up again here to take the Dragon, but Targamas is kind of low on the top side, so he can't really be the engage, but he's all you really have. So Labrov sees his moment, jumps onto Closer as you get into smite range on the Dragon. They pick him off. They will lose Labrov in the mix, but they do get one back.
Sacrificing his HP bar there for the secure on the soul point. Adam crucially not getting the W2 to reactivate to heal absolute ton. Like I said, that spell is really, really broken, but I guess the flat HP versus the brand percentage health is going to be really problematic. I want to see him pick up some magic resist here, potentially like a Kanik, to help him survive this brand burst, because it is a lot of damage on the other side. You have double AD carry plus the brand, that's a lot of HP to get shredded through.
And again, we question, because Close is usually the role player on the team we know engage. We talked about jungle. Sejuani and Maokai, champions that again play the role of KC's frontline. This time on the brand, it's been not too bad so far. Sure, the early game's been a little bit of rough with BDS finding the trades across the map, but we're going to watch him in a fight again. He actually gets caught on out. I talk about him and he erupts. Nuke finds the kill, and now Targamas is in trouble. What an engage, and another reason why we say Labrov just shouldn't get his hands on this champion. He's pretty damn clean with it.
And the things you have to be careful about when you're playing such a squishy composition, when Canna's on the side lane, if you get caught, you are done. And now BDS stepping up once more. KC looking at group, looking to push BDS away.
And Mundo great at zoning away, as you can see, as Vladi has to walk in, Canna has to walk in, Adam will take his stacks with him as well, and the hard zapper heals him up. We finally see the second activation as also with maximum dosage. The chase will continue. Ice gets excited. BDS get Baron, and the first major gold lead in this game goes to the blue side.
Brilliantly orchestrated by BDS there. Finding the engage with the Sejuani up from Sheo in the mid lane, then turning that into a Nash and zoning off with Adam's cleavers. It's just too much damage. Canna cannot face check to be able to contest it, even though they try. And it's an excellent play altogether from BDS.
And you can see Targamas is trying to be in front of Closer there, but 1 second he's not, and Sheo pounces, catches Closer with that ultimate. Really well played, and the follow-up is great. Like Labrov again, this is kind of more the BDS that we saw last year, which was Sheo being that main engage to Labrov following up, and here you're just bullying BDS with those health bars on the top and support players.
BDS, they know the win con. Survive topside, mitigate the potential damage that Canna can do, and then play these team fights out with Nuke on his comfort picks and Ice being extremely accelerated through the bot side players and all the isolated scaling with that gold from the plating.
I mean, we talked about Nuke at the start, but again, this Cassiopeia has also been really solid in these fights as well. Solo play comes through, and speaking of which, it's Nuke in the backline, but it's a good disrupt from both Labrov and Sheo. Sheo, Sejuani, another one is, I wanna look at mid. Or maybe not Ice, this is, wait, he's excited, he's excited, and
the damage
is killing. Ice is unleashed, and those earlier plates are starting to build and build and build and build as BDS keep going and going and going on this top side. Closest dead for 25 seconds. That inhibitor is rubbishly dead.
It's completely gone, and you even got the get out of jail free button if you want, but they want more. They want to crack the entire case wide open here.
Ice keeps getting excited every time a turret goes down, every time an inhibitor goes down. He uses the range, he steps forward, and BDS just like that have taken double inhibitor with the base completely broken.
BDS so confident, not afraid to walk up and hit these towers, and the inhibs as Closer is dead on the other side. Now they can recall, take the Hex portals out, and secure that dragon as well.
And I love the TP from Nuke immediately into that bot lane. It's the one wave that's not pushing in their favor, so let's get it pushing in our favor. Shove that out, walk in towards River, keep the control, but they will spot out KC already on their way out. The TP from Canna to match. BDS going to try and encroach from this bottom half of the river.
Well, it's Sheo again, who's looking for the engage. Close is just stuck. He has to flash over, and Targamas is taking the front line damage. I mean, there we go again, and here comes Sjokz once more as Adam is leading the charge, but Ice is excited once more. A double kill. I smell Penta territory for Ice on a classic. Canna jumps in, but Ice gets him again. A quadra sitting in the making as Tom Riddle's snake leads at this time, but Ice is so low, looking for the gratification.
I think Nuke was fishing for that flash ultimate there to facilitate Ice to get that kill, get that penta kill over the wall, but they don't pull the trigger, and now they can just look for the end.
But Upset might be caught out. I mean, he's got to flash himself. There's Sjokz. Oh, it's fake. He ults backwards. Was it the classic buffer that you can do in Cassiopeia? Either way, regardless, this game's over, and BDS will not make the same mistakes in this best of 5 that they did in the game 1. This time it's clean, this time it's clinical, this time it's team fighting front to back with Ice in charge. Old reliable Korean AD carry. BDS, love that guy.
BDS, they're mad, they're not happy with how last game went, and they change it, they turn it around, getting a huge lead for Ice and playing the map clinically. A beautiful showcase of minimization in the top lane and excellent snowballing through bot side.
Few mistakes when you see BDS in their comforts. Labrov brilliant on the Rell. The engages were fantastic. Nuke doing a ton of damage. But we have to see if they can do it once again. Game 3 is just around the corner.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
More!
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey, shouldn't you be on stage right now?
Hey, you got a pick. Tom Kent? What? I was not expecting this.
And a crazy off-meta pick that secured you the win. How did you come up with it?
I just listened to my gut.